Alright guys, welcome back to VALORANT News. Big roster updates over the last 24 hours with some rumours emerging that the LEV situation is actually even more interesting than we may have initially thought, with some people believing pANcada could be on his way out of Sentinels and over to LEV for the upcoming year. Would this make sense in terms of roles? Is this actually going to be happening? Very much into your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always, I would greatly appreciate it. Plenty to get into. Firstly, on the G2 Gozen side, we saw shortly after the Game Changers World Championship, they decided to make some moves. They won it in 2022. Of course, it was Shopify Rebellion that won it this year here in 2023. G2 Gozen looking to take the step to the next level. They're looking to sign some really talented players, right? So Vanya here from BBL Queens, arguably their best player, but yeah, very good player as well. Apparently is going to join G2 Gozen next year, in addition to another player from FUT Esports, Rez. Turkish takeover apparently at GC Amir, which is going to be interesting to see if that develops, if of course this turns out to be true going forward, it's sources say for the time being. But also China VCT Ascensions. Let's see how this one's getting on. The first elimination has come through here of the playoffs. So Dragon Ranger Gaming, they took down NIP 2-0. Aaron again did run the deadlock. We've seen this happen now a couple of times. And again, like the deadlock is working out very well, but they got slapped. I mean, the deadlock's 19-13. The rest of the team didn't really come to play. And then the Haven was quite shortly afterwards 13-8. So not that competitive a series. NIP out of the Ascension qualifier for this season. And Dragon Ranger Gaming are through to the losers final. The big series, though, has just got underway, and it's Rare Atom versus Attacking Soul Esports. Rare Atom, by the way, did win the series against Dragon Ranger yesterday 2-0, 13-2, 13-10. So, you know, they are definitely the favourites here, and they're coming in with a 6-1 edge on split so far. It is their pick. It's a best of 3, and then on the 30th, we'll get to see who the actual winner is going to be here when the Grand Finals comes around. But this is probably going to be pretty telling because NIP are gone. Rare Atom took down Dragon Ranger very comfortably. If they beat Attacking Soul Esports, it's tough to see a way that Rare Atom don't go up to the Pro League. There has also been questions where Link is going to go. I think a very talented player that's been somewhat overlooked maybe for the last 12 months or so, but he says that he signed a contract, 2024, looking good. I think he had a spot in like one of the Polaris leagues in EMEA, which might open that up potentially as well. But people have been wondering as well, okay, where's Link going to go? What organization is he signed to? And some are wondering whether any of these Chinese teams could make import moves. It's certainly an option. It could well happen. And, you know, teams like Wolverhampton Wanderers or whatever that also have a team in the Chinese VCT might be looking for some imports, right? Because we've seen it now in EMEA with players like Narrate going over to Carmine Corp. We've seen it most certainly with Bleed Esports, with Ye going over there. So you would think that we might potentially expect as well. It depends on language barriers and all this type of stuff. Maybe it's different on certain teams than others in certain regions. But it's not out of the realms of possibility that the Chinese region might also consider certain imported players. Not sure that's the case with Link at all. It's just pure speculation, but it's something at least to think about. Now let's talk about Leviathan. It's been really interesting to see what's happened here over Christmas over the last few days. Nozwa is gone from the team, we believe, although LEV themselves say no decision has yet been made. If you guys haven't yet seen this story, Nozwa, player for Leviathan, basically day before Christmas, or yeah, as you can see, December 24th, removes everything related to Leviathan from his bio, from his name, everything like that, and seems to imply that he's gone from the roster. Limbo then reports that this is, yeah, basically, he's deleted everything. There's speculation that he's going to be gone, but the team has not yet made a call on this, and Com is potentially going to come in. Now, it might be Com, it might not be Com. We'll see that in a second. Now, Limbo's initial report, as we saw it covered yesterday, was discussing that the team apparently had no idea that this was happening, and it was the players that were coming together to make this decision. Now, there's a lot of debate on whether that's actually true or not, because then this guy, Lev_insider, so, you know, make of that what you will, comes on Reddit to say that Limbo, basically his context or his commentary was made without full context of the situation. Apparently this was not a decision made by the players, but instead the coaching staff wanted to get rid of him. So the coaching staff were the one that wanted to get rid of Nozwa when Com became available due to lackluster performance when they were on Madrid. The team accepted. Leviathan was well aware of the situation as an organization and was on board with the idea. So this idea that the players are the ones who made the call and the organization didn't know about it is apparently not true. And, you know, then Nozwa found out that they were looking for a replacement, and therefore he personally asked for the meeting that they apparently had on the 24th. Therefore, he was dropped on that date and then removed everything from LEV. So, Limbo is apparently, according to this individual, damaging the image of the players and protecting the organization while doing so. LEV is a hierarchical organization and the decisions aren't made by the players. So that's pretty interesting. You got to understand that leakers and sources in general, the leakers have to protect their sources and they also have to have some sort of mutually beneficial relationship. So if they're going to get something from the organization, they might present it in such a way to make that organization seem better than they actually might be. But it's very interesting stuff. This individual says, posting this from a new account because I'm related to someone from the org and it's painful to watch how the situation is unfolding without the org doing anything to mitigate this. So, without anyone to mitigate this narrative that has been supposedly going around. So really interesting observations here. But we actually do get a comment from Fernando Diaz, CEO and founder at Leviathan, who says the following: you know that I'm always upfront with these things. Nothing has yet been communicated because there has not been a decision made. It is the team responsibility, or I take responsibility for what is happening and what is going to happen. So, talk to me and blame me if you want to. But yeah, because there has not been a decision made. So they say no decision has been made. Noswer seems to believe that he's gone. Maybe the decision that has yet to be made is who is actually going to come in instead, because the team seems to want it. The players potentially seem to be supporting it. I will mention, though, that Aspas was noted here. He liked this tweet, actually, which is pretty interesting, because Noswer's tweet effectively saying, yeah, I'm gone. That's really sad. It's difficult for him, right? Because now he's got to find a new team on basically zero notice at all. So I don't think Aspas would like this tweet if he was one of the players responsible for getting rid of him. Makes me more believe that the organization, the coaching staff wanted him gone, and the players are actually kind of in support of Noswer and, kind of also sad themselves maybe that Noswer's gone. At least that's how I would read into this from Aspas, but you guys might all disagree. I doubt that Aspas got him dropped and then has liked his tweet saying that he's been dropped. So therefore, of course, there's been talk. Who's going to come in instead? c0m was the number one rumored character, of course, currently of Evil Geniuses, and the question, though, has been, is there anything else here going on? Because this tweet comes through from George Geddes yesterday, and so, breaking the shackles, he's out of the chains. This could refer to lots of different things, but George Geddes says this is not about c0m. So basically saying, no, c0m hasn't been bought out of his contract. He's still there. Not to say that he might not be, but as of this tweet, at least, George Geddes seems to be implying that, this could be personal stuff as well, but because he does some of the other stuff on the Exit Frag account, but still there could be something in it, especially when James of F, who has done lots of leaking and lots of very accurate leaking over the last 3-4 months or so, replies with this image. Now, again, he could be trolling here, but there has been lots of talk about this, that maybe what this actually refers to is pANcada out of Sentinels. This has been a big talking point because pANcada, world champion, phenomenal player, good friends, of course, with Aspas as well, let's not forget. Given their history together, stuck on the bench right now of Sentinels because the Zelsis move is really working out for them. Is pANcada too good to be a sub player? Absolutely. So I would say that he would probably not want to be a sub player forever. Maybe he feels like he can get back into the Sentinels starting team, but let's be honest here, if pANcada was given the offer to go and play for LEV instead, rather than sit on the bench at Sentinels, he would probably take that offer, to be honest. Now, has that actually happened? Is this a done deal? I would say very much far from it. But look, they won the Africa TV tournament without pANcada, very impressively so. pANcada wasn't in this image, right? They brought out the coach, they brought out, Drew Spark, of course, and Kaplan was in this image as well. They did eventually take one with pANcada here, as we can see, after they won the tournament, but I'm sure pANcada is not happy with the situation as it's unfolded at Sentinel. So if the opportunity was there to go to LEV, would he not take the opportunity? I would imagine that he probably would do exactly that. Whether LEV want him, though, this is, I guess, the other question, that in terms of roles, Mazzino generally runs the controller. pANcada, as a controller player, might not be so happy with that. But then again, we know that players nowadays, they have to be very versatile. pANcada did run the Sentinel at times, really, for Sentinels the most recent season, which is not necessarily his preferred role, but he did what it takes, and maybe he'll have to run a flex role on LEV if this was going to happen. But, you've got to acknowledge that it might be a possibility, and James of F seems to be implying that it could well be, at least it's something to think about, that pANcada out of Sen to LEV actually makes a fair bit of sense, especially if the move of Noswer out seems like a done deal. But the replacement player, c0m or whoever, is seemingly not yet done, which makes you think that, well, pANcada could be a possibility, especially given what they're trying to achieve here with their roster. So this has not yet been reflected on Rocket's spreadsheet. He's kind of taken over the mantle here from Flynn on putting these spreadsheets together. quickly to mention on, evil geniuses, just because the rumors around this, like Jorgamo, of course, potentially could stay, and then there's rumors around Baby J, Corey, Shazam, plenty of other options there as well. But yeah, LEV for now, Nozra out, in is the rumor, but yeah, it seems like that's not necessarily a done deal yet, which means that as time progresses, they might, they've got to think about pANcada, right? There's no doubt about it. So very much interested your thoughts in the comment section. Like, just one final thing I thought was pretty funny here from Marv. Like, our team has no true IGL. It'll be a miracle if we end up performing and placing well, he says. So clearly this is tongue-in-cheek, very much sarcastic from Marv, and he is very much of the opinion that, it's not going to matter, right, about the whole IGL situation. I still think they can make it work. The team still thinks they can make it work. And, also in esports in general, it's not like there's always just one IGL that does everything communication-wise and no one else does anything. Like, you need your entire team to be good communicators. You need other players to be chipping in with their own thoughts and opinions. Sure, there's going to be one main IGL who makes the majority of the decisions, but I think that NRG have plenty of communication on their roster. Victor, Crash, he's Marved. Demon 1, just let him go kill. And then, of course, Ethan as well. So, c0m, though, disagrees and says, 6 winners on the team. If you lose even one best of 3, you should be straight up ashamed. So, time will only tell how good these rosters are, but LEV were touted to be one of the most competitive teams in the Americas, if not the world, going into the new season. That's now blown up before the season has even begun, and if they really want to take a next step, given how good some of these other teams look, maybe pANcada is the guy to go for. So very much interested in your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care, and I'll see you next time.